Plaintiff Andrew Cruson met the defendant at a comedy club because they're both stand-up comics. But Andrew insists the defendant is not funny. Andrew claims after they became roommates, the defendant showed his true colors, and he's suing him today for damaging his ice cream maker. Defendant Courtney Mitchell says Andrew is only suing him because he's vindictive, manipulative, and jealous. Courtney claims Andrew often tries to sabotage him when it comes to women, and he does not believe he broke the ice cream maker.
Start with you.
So me and Courtney met around April 2021. We had a common connection because we both do stand-up comedy in Philadelphia. So we met through that at a local comedy club. He needed a place to stay. I needed a roommate, so we thought, why not move in together? It was all good for about the first few months, and then Courtney started showing a little bit of his true colors. He's not funny, so I don't know why he does stand-up comedy. He's not funny at all.
That's rough.
Now that's funny.
Thank you. I'm pretty good at this, Your Honor. He's just also pretty rude. Somewhat of a womanizer, I guess. He brings ladies home.
He comes off as a major player.
He's prepared. Your Honor.
Major. I mean, he killing them. He's a lady killer.
Doesn't have to be funny.
Doesn't have to. Don't have to be fun.
Correct, Your Honor.
Because you can't get the ladies.
If I had a blazer, I think I could compete with him, but he's doing much better than me right now. I can't afford to shop at H&M and the places he buys his clothes from.
That's cute. That's real cute.
Go ahead.
I'm not doing well, Your Honor.
Jokes aren't funny.
See, you're not doing well enough to shop where you shop, and that's H&M.
H&M has quality clothes at a good price.
I agree. I shop at H&M.
It is a great store, Your Honor. I agree. Yeah, so Courtney is somewhat of a ladies' man, like we said. This is where like the disputes started. He would just bring women into our house and introduce them to me, and then just bring them up in his room and like not talk to me for the rest of the day. I think he thought that I could potentially steal them. I don't know what was going on. But he didn't interact with me after that, and then
while the women were there.
They loved me. They thought I was awesome.
No, I'm saying he wouldn't interact with you while they were there.
Yes, Your Honor.
But when his women left, he would interact with you.
Occasionally, but it was always like a flex, like letting me know what he was doing the night before, you know?
Okay. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the other dispute before our case happened, one of our first disputes was every time I would leave for work in the morning, I would come back at night and my room would smell like cigarettes. Courtney knows that I don't like the smell of smoke, and I assumed that he was just smoking cigarettes.
Didn't he have his own room?
Yes, but I think he smokes them in my room, and he thinks
to annoy you think?
Yes, because he thinks it's funny.
That's the best you can do with comedy, is smoke in the room where your roommate says don't?
It's hilarious, Your Honor.
Plaintiff Andrew Cruson is suing his roommate, who claims Andrew often tries to sabotage him when it comes to women.
Go ahead, give me some background.
Okay, so as evidenced by his initial opening statements, I don't think this case is about the ice cream maker at all. Instead of going to that, he started talking about all the various disputes that we've had throughout the month. So I think the real reason that we're here is because Drew is vindictive, he's manipulative, and he's also just plain jealous. I don't see how whatever women I bring home have anything to do with him. He has tried to sabotage me multiple times. I'll bring a woman over and he'll call her a different name, like a completely different name on purpose, and smile.
Objection, Your Honor, there's a lot of them.
Overruled.
That's right, you're overruling. I don't even have to say anything.
Thank you. And so, yeah, he would just do things like that all the time. And then when I would bring people over, they would at least stay in my room. He would bring people over from, the comedy clubs, wherever else he would go, and they would just, crash on the couch without my knowledge. He didn't check in with me at all, so I'd be leaving out the house, and I'd see people on the couch, with their feet all over the couch and everything, which was very upsetting. And we've talked about that before, and it's really nothing has changed since.
Well, let's get to the property that you're suing him for. What happened here?
So in August of 2021, I went to the shore for the weekend. I went to the beach. when I left the day before, I had a ice cream shaker, a Kazanik ice cream machine that my mother bought me for a Christmas present. It's pretty self-explanatory. Make your own ice cream in it. It worked the day that I left, and then when I got back 4 days later, it did not work. Courtney said that he used the machine while I was gone, and then he kind of took admittance to it, took the blame for it, said that...
How so? How did he take
Well,
blame?
at first he was like, I'm like, it's not working. Did you use it? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, we got to figure something out then. Pay me back, or like, we'll meet in the middle. And he agreed to that at first. And then as the months went on, he kind of detached from that idea. And then by the time winter came around, he told me that nobody eats ice cream in the winter, and I wouldn't have a use for the machine.
Yeah, okay. I did say that, Your Honor, because he wouldn't have eaten ice. So first of all, aside from not...
He wouldn't have eaten ice cream when?
That's what I'm saying.
5 below, 10 below? What about if he's inside and the heat is on 80?
So, Your Honor, aside from him not... Because this is absurd. Like, the whole reason that we're here is insane. We could have handled this.
What happened?
So, I truly don't think he would have eaten ice cream in the wintertime. It's cold outside.
He might not have eaten it outside.
Okay, fair enough.
You think ice cream companies go out of business? When? What month? What month do they go out of business?
Day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, in Chicago, they go out of business October 1st.
Yeah,
Something,
right.
it gets cold.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know the industry, Your Honor.
Did you break the machine?
I used it. I don't...
Was it working when you used it?
Was it the winter?
It was August when I used it. I don't know how well it was working. I know I got ice cream. It didn't taste all that good.
When he asked you about it being broken, what'd you tell him?
At the time I admitted to using it, I said that I'm not sure exactly how it did work, or he didn't even tell me how I broke it. He just told me that it was broken.
No, but you said you're not sure how it worked. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? You didn't know how the actual product worked? You didn't know how the machine worked?
So like the inner working, so like I knew the instructions. The instructions were to pour the milk in, so I knew that, but...
So what is it you didn't know? You just said something you didn't know.
Yes, I didn't understand what would have been broken, like what part that was broken was supposed to have worked, and how...
Of course you wouldn't. You're not a mechanic of any type, I don't assume. You're not an ice cream mechanic, particularly in the summer.
Especially not in the summer, Your Honor.
You don't know whether it was working when you used it?
I mean, I was
using it.
I was able to make ice cream.
All right, and then when it came home, he wasn't. Anyone used it between that time, between the time you completed making the ice cream and the time he came and discovered it was broken?
Not to my knowledge.
All right, $551 is your judgment. When you last used it, it worked. He then used it, and afterwards it no longer worked. So the presumption is that he broke it, and he could not disprove that. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor. Right now, off the top of my head, just a famous quote that's always been in the back of my mind from the movie Coach Carter. Mm-hmm. Coach Carter once asked one of his players, "What is your deepest fear, young man?" And Courtney, mine is not you. I'm not afraid of you anymore. I think that Judge Mathis resolved our issue. I do hope we can move forward in peace. That is all I have for now.
I hope your windows work now, because I just bought a cart in the mall, bro. Reds.